What's up, everybody? PokeTrev here, back for another fireside chat. So tonight we have actually a pair of people who I'm very excited to sit down with and talk with. I will go ahead and give you just a taste of some of their very early content. This is actually a clip from their very first video, give you an idea as to where they came from and how they've gotten to where they are. So let's sit back and enjoy.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's John and Mistie here. We are going to be opening Vivid Voltage today. We got a whole booster box. We are chasing that Chunkachu. Hopefully it is in here. All right, we're going to get right into it. Yeah. All right, put this guy up here. And the first pack. Pre-open some of these?
Since I suck.
Well, we're starting from the right side, so I'll just pull from the right side.
Ooh.
Pikachu V.
Right off the bat.
Bad. Nice pull. Here we go.
Thank God.
The cringe.
Yeah, I feel like I somehow look 10 years younger for some reason.
Well, because you opened up Vivid Voltage in your first opening. So now all of a sudden you're 10 years older because you had to open up Vivid Voltage for your first video.
Yeah, we've still never pulled a Chunkachu.
No.
So everybody, welcome in John and Mistie, PokePair.
What's up, guys?
So glad to have you guys here. I also just realized I did not give you a cool, funky headline, so I'm going to do that now. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Well, we are PokePair. I'm John. This is Misty. I'm sure you guys know. We are.
That's my actual name, by the way.
Yeah, it is her actual name, and it's
but it's spelled wrong.
No, it's spelled right.
It is funny because she prefers everything with IE instead of a Y.
I do.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, you know, it's sorry. I have a nervous tick, so my hat comes off and my hair goes back often. Real quick before we get diving into it, just want to say hey to Unlucky Eric, Package Total, Tone Loco, and we also have the Rushmore Show. There's some good friends of mine. They have a podcast on YouTube. Check out the Rushmore Show on YouTube, everybody.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So glad you guys could be on. I know we've been talking about this for weeks. So whenever I was ironing out all of the that's a good one.
You tell.
Yep. Or is it a tell? Is it am I playing the long game? So we've been talking about having you guys on for weeks, and I'm just so glad we're finally here because really and truly, like, getting to meet everybody in this community means the world to me. The people that I jive with, like, they're, you know, you guys getting to hang out with Sean, getting to hang out with Sniffy, getting to hang out with Tennille, getting to hang out with Good Times. Like, it's so important, I think, for the Pokemon community that creators interact. Because you know, we have so many creators in the world that nobody wants to interact with, and I don't want them on my show. But you know, getting some of these, not for nothing, like smaller guys like us, getting Sean on, that was me playing the hey dude, I work for you, so maybe since I don't get paid, throw me a bone.
No, that was cool having Sean on, and he's helped us out a lot too.
Yeah, he has.
Oh no, yeah, no, I joke that I just played I'm the mod card. No, I shot him a text and was just like, hey man, I'm doing this thing. I'd really love to have you on and chat with you. And he immediately was just like, absolutely, I'd love to do it. Truly one of the just kindest, realest people out there. So getting you guys on, I mean, I have seen your growth from, you know, I think I subscribed to you guys when you were at like 300 subs.
Really?
And now you're, yeah. I caught you. I mean, I caught you right when Sean like y'all connected with Sean on YouTube, so you were at like 300 subs at that point, and then the next day you were at 1,000.
Yeah.
It seems like, yeah, it was so like the exponential growth is crazy. So tell me, like, how did you handle that?
Well, so we just kind of took it in stride because, I mean, it was literally overnight. It felt like we were, like you said, around 500 or something, and then the mystery box battle video went out, his part of it, and he just played it up so well, and he just like really delivered on it. And the next morning we woke up, and I think we were just watching, 'cause, you're watching through YouTube Studio.
Oh yeah.
all
Oh
day.
yeah.
It's like,
Always.
we got another one. So
Yeah, it was surreal.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
I never expected
no,
to just take off like that.
no, and it's been so great, and I think we say it all the time in the videos, and I hope I don't overstate it, but like we absolutely love all the people in this community,
Yeah.
and just how much that support that they give back. I mean, just
Mhm.
interacting with them in the comments and reading through all the things that they say. It's hard to find somebody that's being negative in this community.
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean, all right, I'm going to go ahead and say it's really easy if you look for it, but but you bring up a very good point. I mean, the mass populace of people, especially in content like yours, like, I mean, yeah, if you go and watch, the homies Opossum and Rock Sandy and guys like that who are out there doing like the real work for this community. I consider Alpha Bud and Rock Sandy and even Rattle. I have a hard time watching Rattle's content. Nothing against him. I respect the work he does. The man does the work. Like, he's an investigative journalist putting in work. But it's easy to find negativity and stuff like that because they're critiquing the negative aspects of the community, and I love them for it. I respect them so much for it. But no, like, if you're just putting out content and you're being true and honest to the content you're putting out, it's such a wonderful, lovely community. Like, I'm happy to be a part of it.
It
Yeah,
is.
me too.
Yeah, I love being in this community. And I just glanced over and caught one of the comments. It says, John repping the Lieutenant Dangle look.
Yep. That's Tone Loco. Tone Loco is like our lead mod. He is the big boss of the mod squad, the most mid. But no, yeah, it is. Our community is unique in a lot of ways because it comprises several generations of people. Because I mean, Pokemon came out, so I'm 33, and I was 9 years old when the TCG started. I was 7 when the games came out, and I was a little kid, and that's who I like. The game is marketed towards children. It's a children's card game, and a lot of adults get in arguments about it. But but no, I mean, so it's our generation, and then we have our kids who are getting into it, and just it's insane. It's insane to me. And yes, there is an absolutely wonderful amount of good people here that just want to hang out and talk about Pokemon.
Yeah, and we honestly didn't expect to end up here. I think we started again it was July of last year. Well, we started Pokemon again in July of last year. And it wasn't really like we hadn't, narrowed this route down where we were going to end up on YouTube. We just started to open some packs because some guys at work were interested.
Right on.
Just got hooked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what happened to me. I mean, I kind of, this story kind of gets brought up every week, but it always feels natural. I played Pokemon Go religiously, like sorry, don't want to cough into the mic. I played Pokemon Go really religiously, and I hadn't been in the hobby since the Neo era, and they came out with the Pokemon Go set, which is not a great set, not even a good set. Like, it's arguably worse than Rebel Clash. And but they put that out, and I'm like, all right, Pokemon Go, Pokemon cards, all right, cool, I'm gonna buy some of this stuff. It looks really neat. And dude, I cracked that first pack, and it's just like, like, it just like what have I been missing this whole time?
Yeah.
So dude, it just that itch. I was into Magic the Gathering. I was into Yu-Gi-Oh. I was into everything, but nothing came back and hit me like a lightning bolt like it did whenever I cracked open into my first Pokemon pack again after 20 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah, and then we ended up in February. We were in San Diego. No, we were in we were in San Diego when we started this journey, and me and her had a conversation. It was like, I think it was along the lines of we need to do something with this. It's either stop opening packs altogether or do something fun with it to take it to the next level. And we went out to a Walmart and bought
some lighting,
bought some lighting and filmed some videos, and that's kind of where it started. As you know, and then when we got back, we filmed that from that trip. We filmed that video that you so kindly displayed there.
That is amazing. So you guys, you really like when you decided to go with it, you went all in. Like I know that whenever I started, and at some point I will be the one to embarrass themselves, and I'll show my first video. So my first video is actually me sitting at my desk in my office on my lunch break. Like I had already started the channel, I had set everything up, and I was just like, all right, I set a time and a time frame to do my first video, but then I was just like, oh man, I just want to put out a video. And I did it on my phone, and the quality was bad, but I was so excited and all that. But I had no idea what I wanted to do as far as a studio. Like I filmed everything from my dining room table for the first 6 months or so of my time. I've been doing this just under a year now. And yeah, my wife for Father's Day built my streaming studio in our bedroom, which is now moved to our basement. But yeah, I was just filming at the dining room table. You guys bought lighting and stuff. I'm impressed.
Yeah, when I'm given a task, I dive in.
That's all. No, and you know, my wife is the same way. She took it upon herself. She's just like, I want to make him an area because again, like I said, I set up at our dining room table. I would set up a stack of ETBs for my camera to sit on, and I would have my computer over here with my camera sitting up here, and I would watch everything over here and just like my phone camera in front of me. I still use my phone camera, but I've got like a boom and everything and whatnot. But what was it like for you to just decide, hey, we're going to take this hobby and turn it into something more? What did that feel like? Was it scary for you?
I was really excited. I mean, a little scary because, you know, being in front of a camera for the first time, all of that, but I got really excited. I was all in.
She definitely was. And I think she warned me before because I brought the topic up. She's like, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this.
That's awesome.
And so I was a little nervous because I was like, I'm not sure what that means, you know?
What it means, Johnny, is that you're going to spend a lot of money and it's going to be a lot of fun, but you're going to complete a lot of master sets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And well, we're going to stack a bunch of cards here on the table. And
yeah.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
This is my bulk box from last week, and it's a full ETB and it's all stacked vertically. Like, so I get it.
Yeah, we got to going through it the other day, and I'm looking over at the closet that's sitting right there. Yeah. We probably have 20 plus 30 ETBs just full of cards that we got to sort. But we started last weekend, so we started sorting last weekend. Awesome. Yeah. But
so my wife, she Taylor, Mrs. Pokatrev to everybody else, but my wife's name is Taylor. It's ironic because we're Taylor and Trevor. But she'll like on the weekends when we don't have like a bunch of cleaning and stuff to do, she'll sit in the living room with our like the big boxes with the 8 slots in it, and she'll just sort bulk because it's very therapeutic for her.
Yeah.
Total keeper, man. And at some point I'm going to bind all those up and mail them in and get maybe a booster box for all the bulk that I've pulled over the last year.
Yeah.
So in under a year, because you've been doing this for 8 months, according to your first video 8 months ago, you have now reached minimum potential for true channel growth.
Yeah.
You're monetized. You've got memberships. I am a member of the pair, the free band.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Of course. I look, the easiest thing for me to do is to spend, $3 to $5 a month on my buddies to continue doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Did you really did you have any idea that you were going to grow as fast as you did?
I didn't think so. I didn't think we'd be anywhere near where we're at right now. That's why we mentioned Vault a lot, because he definitely got us that jump.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And she warned me from the beginning. See, she's a smart one. She was like, this is going to take like 2 years to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, let's just do it and see where it goes. And I was so confident with that first video because I've been watching PokeTubers for 6+ months, and I knew what it was about. I was so confident with that thing. It's funny. When we got done with the video and we posted it for the first time, I emailed Sean at PokeVault, and I was like, "Hey, bro, check this out." And being the nice guy that he is, he commented on that video.
I'm sure he didn't watch the whole thing.
I would not have watched it. And he wrote us back, and he said, you guys got something there. You guys got a few things to work out, but you got some things, And he's like,
true story.
I
uploaded my first couple of videos and emailed Sean also.
He's the go-to.
Yeah.
He is. Well, because he's the man of the people. Like, he really does. He is a larger than life personality for sure. But I mean, truly just is like into like keeping the trend going. Like, he wants to build the community, keep everybody going. So yeah, no, I sent him an email. I was like, hey, my editing is terrible. What do you use? Like, what software do you use? Because I know at the time he was doing a lot of his own software, like his own video editing. He didn't have Dave yet doing his video editing. And then he's the one that put me on to iMovie, and that, I'd love to say the rest is history, but my video editing is still not great.
I think it's all right. That's not bad. It's good.
I think I have like a dozen pre-recorded videos, but I've got 100 videos total, shorts included. It's all the lives for me. I like doing the lives. I like doing this. I like this style. If I can't get it right in one take, then I had no business doing it in the first place.
And if I'm being honest, it's always a different feel in the lives, and we really enjoy it. A lot of the times, it's fun opening the packs, but I just get distracted. If you watch my lives, I'm always like this because I'm opening cards, but I'm reading the comments because I like talking to people.
That kind of hemmed me up actually during the first couple of podcasts I did, because I was because that's what I do. Like, my bread and butter is doing live streams, live openings, etc. So my whole thing is I am just sitting in my basement by myself. The only human interaction I have is with the chat. So for the first few podcasts that I did, it's a lot of like, okay, I'll ask my question and we'll talk about it for a minute, and then I'm gonna look at the chat, because I'm so used to looking at the chat. Like, that is what dictates my conversation, not really feeling the fact that like, oh cool, I've actually got human people here in front of me when I'm talking to. So
yes. Which this is cool. This is our first podcast. And,
oh well, you never forget your first. So when you guys make it to 30,000 and I'm cranking my way up to 1,000, don't forget me. No, I have no doubts that my channel is progressing in the way that I can personally handle. Because if I blew up overnight, I don't know what I would do. I would probably let it go to my head, and then all of a sudden I would be the best one in the biz and not really have the skill to back it up. But so
I think that's the hard part, honestly, is I don't think you would have a problem letting it go to your head. I think from our conversations, I think you would be fine. But I think the hard part is because I just want to make sure that every time these people, all these people watch these videos, that they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
What I mean? You don't want to get stagnant and
sure.
And I think it's very easy to just continue doing the same old thing over and over again. But you know, Misty, between her editing skills and my mad ability to throw shade on her while she's opening.
I love it, dude. I love it.
Yeah, I think we do all right, you know.
As a married man, I just feel like I can feel like the joy coming from you in that moment, but I also know that like I can feel her intensity at you, and it's just like, yeah, he's gonna pay for that one later, and that's fine. But he's having a fun time now. And she's already committed one. She's already committed one war crime on camera, so she's not gonna do it again. Like now, she's gonna be too self-conscious about it.
Yeah, and that's a good point. You need one on camera, right? So,
I just like hashtag Misty commits war crimes in the chat.
For sure, she does.
Never gonna live that down.
No.
She swindled me out of that win so good.
Hey, you agreed. Agreed.
I don't remember agreeing.
I also just noticed that the banner, I spelled your name Misty. So I'm going to fix that real quick.
Nice. Hey, at least you got the IE.
Yeah.
I did.
I think my family still uses Y most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been
20 do they do that? Do they do that just because they're salty people, or just because they don't pay attention? No, okay. They just don't pay attention.
They just hate me.
No.
Okay.
I don't know how anybody could hate that one. I got so lucky.
She violated the Geneva Convention. She's actually a terrorist.
Yeah.
Like, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first on PokePair Live. We have a true terrorist.
She's actually going into the witness protection program after this.
It's either that or no, so you know.
Just get her fake ID set up, ready to run.
So you guys decided, you know, one day that after, you know, cracking open packs and enjoying it, to start a channel. What inspired you to start a channel? Like, I mean, everybody has their PokeTuber that they watched, and this is a safe space. It is, because I'll tell you right now, the first PokeTuber I ever saw was Leonhardt, and I will never I'm not going to knock somebody on my channel. Like, he has turned everything that he does into a business, and I think that that's a bad thing. Because it feels like he's running a business, and that, you know, that shows. Like you were kind of saying earlier, it's always important to just enjoy what you're doing and, you know, maintain that joy and that feeling of sincerity that our audience deserves. Like, make sure the audience is having fun. And I'm sure that people that don't like that, just kind of casually watch him, they'll enjoy themselves. He is a very bizarre and fun watch. Like, he can be over the top, ridiculous, and like he's the one that got me watching PokeTubers, which then got me into, like, he led me to Rev, led me to Vault, which led me to starting my channel. But who were you watching early on that you know, even casually got you involved? And then tell me who got you hooked.
Okay, so that
would be you.
It's a two-part question.
That is a two-part. So it started with me. So I started watching Rev. I think I hit YouTube after we started opening packs, and I don't know. I don't even know how I ended up there, but I ended up on YouTube, and I was going through it, and I found Rev, and I was like, "Oh man, this dude is." I like watching it. It was interesting. It just instantly captivated me, kept me in there, and then it moved to Vault. Like, Vault was number 2, and
I started watching Vault at that point.
Yeah, I was. I think I got her into it. I was like, "You got to check this out. This is pretty cool." And she's like, "All right, yeah, we'll check it out." And then she was instantly hooked.
Yeah.
So I think that's where that's kind of like where it started, was Rev. And I ventured into Leonhardt.
I never watched Leonhardt.
I did. I ventured into Leonhardt, and like, again, nothing against him, because I don't know. I all I know about him is what I hear from CTR. So
Well, so I will say this: like, if you go back and watch Leonhardt 3 or 4 years ago, I mean, you saw somebody that was truly passionate about what he was doing. Like, his story is interesting. Like, he allegedly, I don't know for a fact that this is true, but he was a lawyer, and he got involved in, involved in the hobby, and was actually a really strong member of the community, giving back to people. He still does a lot of that. Like, he still gives back to the community a lot, but his early videos were a lot of fun. Like, he was enjoying himself. Then all of a sudden it turned, like, he quit his job to do Pokemon full time, and it turned into a job for him, and he treated it like a career. And doesn't matter how much you love what you do, eventually a job's going to feel like a job, and it's going to show. So all those videos of the I'm done, I'm sick, like all that stuff really stemmed from his whole just like, I'm just working every day now instead of enjoying this hobby I'm doing. But if you watch a lot of his early stuff, man, like, yes, he's a wacky dude, but he's also marketing himself toward, like, he's involved in a children's hobby. So it's a lot of kids watching his shows and his videos, and that's good. Like, I think that's great. But again, like, you do notice over time that there's the transition from, oh, this is fun, to, oh, this is work. And that's where it becomes a real problem.
Yeah. And I think that's maybe where I caught him, because, I think I watched a video and I just don't like his voice. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's
like
definitely,
but nothing against him. I think his content is great. I've watched plenty of videos of his, and I thought it was great. So
yeah, he, he's one of those, again, that I think he just did. He spread himself too thin, and then just had to continue cranking out content because he turned it into his career. He does have a very, his voice can be a little jarring at times. Yeah. I caught, I think it was a random Facebook reel talking about one of his pop-up shops like 3 years ago that he did, and watched that. I was like, oh man, this is so much fun. To Guess the Energy. That's great. Let's go. I played Guess the Energy with myself whenever I was casually opening up cards because of that. And then Rev did his 12-hour Lost Origin opening just one more little flex here, even though I can turn it into a very sad story immediately after. I opened up 2 booster boxes of Silver Tempest before I pulled the Lugia, and then was going through TCG players, like description of Lost Origin and all the cards in it, and then the pull rates, etc., and saw the Giratina V alternate art and felt it was love at first sight. Like, there is, like, the last time I fell in love like that was whenever I met my wife, and then then it was the Giratina V alternate art. But I saw a link to a PokeRev video. I don't know who PokeRev is at the time, and I'm just like, all right, cool. So I watched a 12-hour live stream of this guy trying to open up the entire Lost Origin set in one rip, and he never pulled the Aerodactyl, but he pulled Giratina twice. True story, I pulled the Aerodactyl 3 times, but I pulled the Giratina once. Welcome in, everybody. This old fart. Yeah, he doesn't like the beatniks with their long hair, glasses.
Kids with you have this one who opens up a single Annihilate EX box and pulls a Giratina.
Misty, I still haven't forgiven you for that. Let me tell you, like, love you guys. Y'all are my friends, but Misty, I will never forgive you for just casually opening up an Annihilate box. I bought 4 Annihilate boxes after that. So I'm like, all right, cool. It's my turn. Didn't work.
People don't know this, but that was actually her first war crime.
That was it. It was. You know what? I felt that in my soul. That felt like an attack on me, which is why you guys were my 5th show instead of my first. You were gonna be my first. You were gonna be my first, but not so much. We're gonna take a quick second to say hey to folks in the chat. Swadsy, Pokemon Shed's in here. We've got Mr. Zard's Mix, Jay Macy, the Rushmore Show's still in here. Tyler's in here. Package Total's in here, and we also have the Pokemon Safe is here.
Nice.
So
what's up, everybody?
Yep. So you guys have, at this point, how many master sets have you done? So I've watched several of your videos while y'all go over, the set you're working on and set you're doing. How many Sword and Shield master sets do you have so far?
Sword and Shield?
This is a tough one.
None, I don't think.
Yeah, no, we
really?
do.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
My favorite one. Pokemon
No,
Go.
Pokemon
Yeah, I
Go.
was about to say you have Pokemon Go. I knew that. I knew that answer already.
So what's funny about this hobby, right, is that you get started on a set, right? And it comes out and you're like, I'm going to master set this thing. And then you open a ton of product and, you're always missing one or two things. And then, and the way this Pokemon's going lately, the next set comes out.
Yeah.
And then you have to move on to that next set. So we spend more time, unfortunately, like getting really, really, really close and then moving on to the next set. And then, this thing keeps going and going and going. And so we've
got a handful.
We have some that are so close. I mean, I've got 8, 9, 10 binders sitting there behind me that are just like, so I think the next one is Obsidian Flames. Obsidian Flames, we're within, I think 7 cards.
Oh, 7 now?
7 or 8. Yeah.
Nice.
And those alt arts or just like regular cards?
Just alt arts and some full arts there.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So do you have any master sets yet? I guess that's a better question. I thought I could have sworn aside from Pokemon Go, I thought y'all had a couple.
Yeah.
We have base set,
master setted.
Japanese 151.
All right.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I personally like Pokemon Go. So
look, I respect Pokemon Go because again, it brought me back into the hobby. Like it's so I either respect Pokemon Go or I hate it more than anything because I'm back in this, this awful, wonderful, beautiful hobby again. But if it wasn't for Pokemon Go, I never would have jumped back in. So I respect what it tried to do. I hate the fact that it brought Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr is an alt art. Why?
Yeah.
You had any kind of meta-relevant Pokemon Go, like any meta-relevant Pokemon, and you went with Conkeldurr. You gave us the Times Square Mewtwo, which is dope.
I love that.
That is a beautiful $20 card, which was $120 when it came out, and it dropped just. You have the Ditto sticker cards. You have like so much potential to make a great set, and they gave us 2 alt arts, Mewtwo and Conkeldurr.
Yeah.
At that point in time, who cares about Conkeldurr? Does anybody care about Conkeldurr?
No.
Conkeldurr. I always think of the opening to Vault's video.
I think we were talking about this recently in our live. I would like to see behind the scenes of what they're doing at Pokemon Company because there are some prime opportunities that they missed with Pokemon 151. Let's just
should have had they should have had Master Balls.
Yeah, should have Master Balls.
Yep, should have Master Balls.
And Dragonite. Why did they not have a Dragonite? Standing there at the lighthouse from that
right.
The original.
That would have been sick. I feel like I mean, it's hard to say that they didn't want to do something they'd done before or something similar to what they'd done before because we did have the Dragonite alt art in Evolving, but it was our first Blastoise and Venusaur alt art in modern time. Of course, they have a Charizard because duh. But I mean, we got an Alakazam alt art, we got a Zapdos alt art, we got alt arts that we had never gotten before. Yeah. So Charizard aside, I feel like they did give us something we hadn't had before with 151, and I really appreciate that a lot. Also, we got God packs for the first time in English, which that has never happened before, even though they're demigod packs. But we did get God packs. Yeah, it's incredible. I won't because I'm not going to open up enough 151 to open one. Misty.
I got my first one the other day.
I know. It's you and me, girl. Like we're the only ones out here hurting.
I've been looking. Yeah.
What's funny?
Way to go, Johnny.
I know.
I almost bought one. You know what's even crazier is like I was sitting there that day. I'm like, because I'm an absolute crackhead for Lost Origin. I can't stop. Now that I pulled one Giratina, I need another one. So I'm always gonna buy Lost Origin. But I almost bought 151. So I'm like, oh man, maybe today's my day. Yeah, it could have been. It could have been.
Yeah. So she pulled that Charizard, and then it was a couple packs later.
Yep.
I get the God pack.
Yep. All for one person.
One person. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
No. All that power. Actually, and so something that's really cool is he then gifted that Charizard.
He did.
So that somebody in our comments
Mhm.
was like, "Hey, I've been working on that thing forever," and they bought into the live, and it was something along those lines. Like, it's the only one I haven't pulled.
Mhm.
And then he messaged us later and was like, "Hey, can you just slide that into their box and let them know it's for me?" And
Dude,
that's
that's
what I love about
awesome.
this community. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I love
That's
this
awesome.
community.
So and that's, kind of, we can absolutely wrap it back around to that. Like, this community is something that, we can talk about the negative aspects of it, like I briefly mentioned earlier, but I'd rather focus on the positive stuff like that. Like, so we put our family dog down weeks ago, and
Yeah.
I had kind of been talking about it with some of the people in Discord, and then somebody had mentioned it in one of Vault's lives, and a guy won one of the Streamlabs giveaways, the exclamation 100K giveaways, and immediately like super chatted, "Hey, give this to Trev." And it was just like, dude, thank you for that. Like, I immediately texted or messaged Sean and said, give that back to the people. And in fact, I'm going to donate $20 more to like keep paying it forward to people. But like, that type of thing is just so incredibly kind, and you don't really find that in a lot of places.
Yeah. It's unique, and it's
It is.
I think it's I personally community.
Whoa, y'all kind of check your connection. You might be hey everybody.
Yeah. Are we back?
PokeTrev here. I'm just gonna do a little midway. Hey everybody, how you going? Thank you for coming in tonight. Make sure you smash the like button and all that jazz. All right, we are back.
Are we good?
Cool.
Okay.
Are we good?
All right, there we go. All right.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if you've caught our lives, but every single one of our lives, we have some sort of internet
technical difficulty.
That is absolutely the bane of live streaming existence. There's always going to be some kind of technical difficulty. You have big guys like, Sean, who like he
nails it every time.
Even but no, he doesn't. There have been some times we've been sitting there waiting for him because his computer had to update, etc. Like, I mean, it's just like getting the occasional Pokemon names wrong. There's going to be issues with live streams. It happens.
No, for sure. And we are an example of that every time.
Oh, every time.
Every time. So like this last one, we were scheduled, and I watched her do it. She scheduled it for 10 o'clock last week on or it was Sunday, 10 o'clock.
Oh.
You there?
Oh.
Oh, here we go. So we were going to go.
Oh, you're talking about the live stream scheduling. Oh, this is a good one.
Oh, yeah.
We were going to go live at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Let me fix something.
And the moment, like, oh, yeah, we were texting back and forth, me and you.
Oh, that's right.
And then you sent me that meme, like TikTok, and I was like, haha, you know? I was like, haha, whatever. And I didn't get it. I thought it was funny. And then she's like, she checks the chat, checks the comment section on the chat for the who's waiting, and she's like, "Oh my god, we're supposed to be live right now."
Yeah.
That was the funniest thing ever, because it was just like the delayed, understanding of why I sent you that gift.
Yeah. No idea.
On top of the fact that we were just sitting in your chat waiting for you.
I know.
And I felt so bad. And then we realized, like, oh my god, it was daylight savings. It's
daylight savings, man.
So she put it in at 10, and then it kicked it back to 9.
Yep.
And here we are.
Yep.
It's like, man,
it would have been our first one where we didn't have any problems too. Our internet was good. Everything was running smoothly.
Awesome. Just put more quarters in your computer.
I did. I had to put more quarters in the computer. I have, so you have Steve, I have Richard over here running the show, and he is not great.
Richard Cranium.
Yep, that's right. His friends call him Dick. So we do have questions over here that we'll throw in the mix here. I still have several questions for you guys, but I'll let the audience get involved. So Tyler Reagan wants to know, you're in Nintendo 64 Pokemon Stadium, so the original 151. Who do you pick as your battle team? 6 Pokemon. Go.
So that's hard for me. I've never really played the game before. I've just always been a collector.
I know.
So I don't really know.
So that, yeah. All right. So 6 Pokemon, and then I don't know why I always go to the Pidgeot. I love.
Yeah. Oh no, Pidgeot's goated, man, because like it's the first flying type you get.
Yep. And you got to fly around that map. Well, in the original game, but we're in Stadium.
Yep.
So Pidgeot, because he's got gusts and stuff. I'm a huge fan of Gengar. And then you got to throw in one of the 3 starters. So I always go with the Blastoise. That's just, that's my thing. Blastoise, water type. I'm in the Navy. I don't know. Maybe it's a thing.
So in the Navy, do you sail the 7 seas? Sorry, I had to.
No. I've sailed a lot of seas.
Awesome.
Let's see. And then so now we're at what, 3 or 4? We're at 4.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it gets difficult, because you get down to those last few. Let's go Beedrill. I'm a huge fan of Beedrill.
All right, dude. The Beedrill alt art in Astral Radiance is easily one of the greatest alternate arts that is so very undervalued.
I agree.
It's like an $18 card, and it's gorgeous.
Yes. And then my last one is always Raticate. Raticate in that bite move.
Yeah, no, bite was pretty goated. So I'm a little bit more I go Venusaur because I'm a Bulbasaur simp. Period. Just huge Bulbasaur simp. Yeah, I know. I see him right there. right there. Yeah. I know. My Bulbasaur sits like below on here, so it doesn't show up on my drop. But so no, by the end of the game, I'm Venusaur. I am Kabutops because I always go Kabutops over Omastar. I am Alakazam if I have a friend that's willing to trade with me, which is a shame because I have no friends. I am also Gengar, which requires friends. And then typically I'll go Pidgeot or Fearow unless I can get a Farfetch'd and just like power that thing all the way up. And probably as Zapdos as an extra flyer plus lightning type.
Yeah, Zapdos is one of my favorites as well. I totally get it.
Yep. Also, if you win a giveaway tonight, please contact me at Telegram, at Poketrev, at 8, at 5, at 5, at 9, at 0.
I've just been giggling at the comments over here.
I know, I saw that.
I do.
So it's funny. I have interviewed the 8th Pokevault, and now I'm interviewing the 23rd PokePair.
Yeah.
So when you guys were like entered into the race, like when y'all started doing the derby to win number 1, how did it feel to come in 23rd place?
Well, it was kind of humbling right out of the gate, because I think, when you're trying to pick a name, right, there's this mad stress about like,
we picked it pretty quick.
But I think I can't even remember what the honorable mentions were.
I don't remember.
But they were, and the only we got this. Oh no.
Yep, just a little bit. Just a little bit of glitch in there.
Yeah, and so sorry. So we went to 23, and 23 Misty's favorite.
Right.
That's where. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
We're still alive.
You're still alive, just only kind of.
Goodness.
So Misty's favorite number is 23, ladies and gentlemen. That's how they got PokePair 23.
Yes.
That is where we went. I'm sorry.
That
was a long round explanation for that simple thing.
Spectrum.
Yep.
How did you know?
Because y'all are on the West Coast. So on the East Coast, we have Comcast. So it's the same thing. Like we have the same problems over here. It's just a different company doing it. I'm going to keep talking right now until I can see one of their faces move. I want to thank everybody once again for being here tonight. Please make sure you smash the like button. I am PokeTrev. We've got PokePair here. So Jay Macy has been begging and pleading in the comments to know, did you master the master balls in 151 or just the main set?
No, we did not, just the main set. But we do have that Pikachu master ball.
Yes.
In a PSA 10.
Yep.
Ooh. That is a good one to have, man. So I do feel like it's a missed opportunity in a lot of ways. However, they made the rest of the set pretty much impossible to pull because 151 began the trend of having tough pull rates.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Like, so you've already opened up a decent amount of Paradox. I know I opened up a booster box. I got lucky. So in my live on Friday night last week, I opened up a single booster box of Paradox Rift and 2 ETBs, and I pulled the Roaring Moon and a bunch of other stuff. Yep.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah. Shut up, Misty. No, you don't get to talk. You don't get to do that.
She pulls everything.
You don't get to do that to me, man. You pulled the Tina, just not even trying. But what do you think about like the fact that they have finally kind of done a course correct? Scarlet and Violet base set and even Paldea to a certain extent had such like strong pull. Like, I mean, dude, you were just pulling every box you opened. What do you think about them actually like doing this course correction?
Well, you want to field that one?
I don't mind.
Yeah. So this I lean both ways, right? One, I loved Scarlet and Violet because I think like the base set with the Miriam, and there was like a ton of those Miriams that came out.
Right.
I love that because I think as a kid,
well, yeah.
you know, opening a pack, and this is what it's all about at the end of the day, is kids growing up and having eventual nostalgia like we do now, right?
Right.
So to be able to open up 5 or 6 packs and pull a Miriam, I think that is just wonderful. I think that's the best.
Yeah, I got bullied into opening up my other 151 UPC. I ended up making my money back from it, so I'm happy with it. It's fine.
Yeah, but with the course correction, I think it needed to be. I don't know. I'm kind of wishy-washy on this subject because as collectors, right, we kind of want the value of your cards to go up.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Right.
You want value. But at the same
time, I fall similar to that. So I will always defend the pull rates of Scarlet and Violet base because it was, for the first time in a long time, like you said, kids can open up a bunch of packs of cards and pull all the cards they want from it. Yep. And then we got to Paldea Evolved, where it was a little bit harder to pull some different, like the Magikarp's still sitting at like 60 or 70 bucks raw because it's such a hard card to pull. I pulled one and it was so damaged, like out of the pack, that I traded it in because, again, like at the time I wasn't doing anything different with my channel. It was all pack openings. I'm not monetized yet. So it's like I have to pick and choose how I keep my collection going and how I keep my channel going. So I immediately turned around and traded my Magikarp into an LCS to get store credit towards the next box, et cetera, so forth. But like that set kind of dialed it back. Like I know Iona was not pulled nearly as much as Miriam was, but Miriam, you were seeing Miriam's coming out every video people open in Scarlet Violet base. And I liked that. I really liked that for new collectors just coming into the hobby.
Yeah.
Also feels like Pokemon was kind of gaslighting its fans because it's like, hey, everybody, come here and open up all these cards and pull them. And now we're going to just nerf the pull rates.
Yeah. So funny. I remember the day it came out, right? I think we somehow managed to get a booster box early, something along those lines. And first box we opened, pulled a Miriam, and I went right to the website. So I was like, $250 right here in my hand.
Yep.
And then we went to bed. And woke up, and I specifically remember $80.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So,
dude, that was like buying stock in, I don't know, Empire, or I don't
What's that company
the
Martha
record
Stewart
store?
went to jail for?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Enron. That's like buying Enron stocks.
yeah.
You just, dude, you go like they're popping off one night, and the next day they're just gone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like Pokemon Shed said, Iono cost them 793 packs. Like they completely just did something interesting with Scarlet and Violet. But I also think Scarlet and Violet had a lot to do with the fact that there wasn't a ton of chases in it. Like there wasn't a lot of cards. It was a small set. It was a double set, but it wasn't like, Paldea, which is 3 Japanese sets, or flipping, Paradox, which is also 3, but it's huge. Like it is a huge set. We've got 35 art rares. You've got 15 SARs. You've got, 5, 6 golds, so on. Like Paradox Rift feels like the perfect medium for me. Like I think that this is going to end up being one of the S tier sets in the Scarlet and Violet block, simply because the pull rates suck, but the pulls are amazing.
Yeah.
Everything from like, and I know Tyler and I were both like cheesing on it during my live last Friday, but like the Loudred art rare is probably one of the coolest art rares I have ever seen. It is like funky colors, funky designs. It reminds me of something out of Jet Set Radio Future. Shout out to all of the old school Dreamcast and Xbox homies. But like the artwork is just so amazing. You have Groudon, you have Yveltal, you have all of these really cool cards, and even like the SIRs are nice, but to me, they're not the highlights. They're not like the best parts of it.
The art rares in this set are spectacular.
Right.
Like I said, we went. The pull rates are not that great, but they're still good at the same time. We opened a booster box without an SIR.
Oh, that's right.
So that's the thing. Like, so with Paldea Evolved, you were guaranteed an SIR in the box, and you could sometimes pull an SIR and a gold. But with Paradox, you are not guaranteed an SIR if you hit a gold. So it's like the old school days. If you hit a hyper rare in the box, chances are you're not going to get one. Now, if your name is Poketrev, then you can open up a booster box Paradox Rift and get one of the gold luxurious capes, and also hit a Roaring Moon SIR. Let me tell you, dude, I hit the luxurious cape gold card during like the beginning of my booster box, and I was so defeated because I'd already talked to people. Like my buddy I have a friend who owns a card shop, Poketrade Emporium. Shout out to my buddy Nico. But they opened up 6 cases, and every time they opened a box, it was either an SIR or a gold. So I opened up my box, and I hit that gold literally like 7th or 8th pack in the box. And I'm just like, all right, guys, so we're just going to hang out now for the next 30 or 45 minutes, and I'm going to get some cool art rares, but that is the hit for the night. And then ended up like seeing the texture in the slot. I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to play this up for a lot of fun.
And there it was.
Yep. So what do you guys think about the future of the hobby? We've already shown that, Pokemon is kind of, they did something weird with Scarlet and Violet base set, and they gave us a bunch of easy hit rates. They're kind of correcting the course now, making it a little bit tougher to pull, but adding more hits into your booster boxes. What do you think we're doing next?
It's been so all over the board that I'm actually kind of nervous about a lot of this stuff going forward because, I was nervous before Paradox Rift because people didn't seem to really like Obsidian Flames, and it didn't seem that some of these other ones took off. I'm a fan of Triplet Beat, which is the Japanese version.
I'm not. Nope. Opened up 3 boxes of Triplet Beat. Chat, can anybody say what I pulled from my secret rare in every box of Triplet Beat?
You got the same one.
In every one.
Spoiler alert. Every single box of Triplet Beat I opened had a full art Skeleturge in it. That was it. Yeah, I know. I blew your mind so hard your screen crashed. Every single one. I stopped opening Japanese for a while.
We pulled 2 Meowscaratas, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, out of
Yeah.
similar thing. So no big deal.
Yeah.
I
But no,
prefer-
yeah, man. Yeah. I opened up 3 boxes of triplet bead, and every time it was a full art Skeledirge.
Wow.
I liked the cards that came from that set though. Like the set itself is
Yeah.
actually really nice. I'm just a bitter Betty about it.
That's okay. But yeah, I so for the future, I kind of nervous because I think they nailed something with this Paradox Rift. They got
Agreed.
back on the train, but how long can it stay on the tracks? You know?
Well, you know, it's interesting because Scarlet and Violet has, I mean, we're always going to have different Pokemon featured with, you know, the hats. And I hate that fundamentally. But, I mean, with the SIRs, it's fine because you can barely see it.
Yes, that's what I like.
Shout out Garchomp from this set. Shout out the SIR Charizard from Obsidian Flames and Ruler of the Black Flame, which I did think was an interesting, you know, I know you mentioned Obsidian Flames and everything. I liked Obsidian Flames a lot. There were a lot of really good arts in that set, and I thought it was a very interesting test to see if they could release a set concurrently. You know, it had come out in Japan, and then 2 weeks later we got it here.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what happened with Paradox Rift. Like Raging Surf came out, but then 3 weeks later was when everything else came out in Japan, and the week after that, everything came out in America. It was actually the first time that the American set dropped before the Japanese set did.
Yeah.
Like Paradox Rift came out in pre-release before the Japanese set released in Japan. Which I know they're trying to do to keep the metagame going. Like that has a lot more to do with the TCG than it does with like the collection side of things. But I think that they are onto something with the ideas they're doing, like leaning more into the art rares and you know, getting a handful of really cool trainer SARs along with Pokemon SARs, because as the hobby has proven, the trainer cards are where the money's at in Japan, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I say where the money's at, and I don't like to attribute money to the hobby, but that's what it is. Like to a lot of people, they look at it as an investment. And so, you know, you look at like the Lily from Ultra Prism and stuff like that. It's just, it's insane.
Yeah. I think that one's sitting at $500. I think the last time we looked, we kind of did a slight chase of that.
I remember, and I was so like, as soon as I saw what your video was titled, I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna watch every second of it. I love it. Like I show up for every video the minute it drops, because y'all actually drop y'all's videos at the perfect time. It's either when I'm like hanging out at home before I get like head to work, or it's right whenever I walk into the office and I've got, you know, I'm checking emails and stuff at my desk, so I can just have it playing in the background. I can click over every now and again and watch. But no, I saw y'all were opening Ultra Prism. I'm so like devastated by the fact that I missed the Sun and Moon block and the X and Y era, but also at the same time, it's just like I saw what I did to myself trying to pull Giratina. I could not imagine diving into Sun and Moon era and XY era boxes.
Yeah.
Which actually, Cosmic Eclipse has really good pull rates, in my opinion. Cosmic Eclipse, one of my favorite sets, and it has some really good pull rates, amazing artworks. The red and Pikachu.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, Cosmic is my favorite. Like after the fact set, I love Cosmic Eclipse. I wish I would have been there.
Me too. Yeah.
But I'm not going to spend $1,000 for a Cosmic Eclipse booster box, because I'm going to open it, and if I can't grade everything in it and get 10s, it's never going to be worth it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to pull the cards I need to pull.
I know. I'm pretty remorseful for living in Japan for 3 years and not being deep in this hobby.
We messed up. Yeah, we messed up.
It was we lived there.
Johnny.
I know. And it's funny because we actually I think it slightly got us back into it, because right before we left Japan, we were going into card shops, and I was like, oh, look at this. This is cool. And we were buying, you know, singles off the shelf and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we get back to the States, and then within 6 months, we're like full blown Astral Addiction, Astral Radiance. Astral Radiance is where we kicked it off.
Yeah. Oh man, Astral is a great set. Astral is one of those sets I think is gonna do well over time. Like get far enough removed from it, and a lot of people are gonna look back and say, "Why did we sleep on this set?" You've got the Palkia, the Dialga, you've got the Beedrill, you've got the Sneasler, you've got so many gorgeous cards in that set.
Yeah, that Beedrill is one of my favorites. Like flying,
dude, it's amazing.
Meadow and
yeah, it's so delightful.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah, Undead Driver. So yeah, back 6 months or so ago, they had the Galar mini tins on the Pokemon Center website, and they were like $8 a piece, and they had Cosmic Eclipse in it. I bought 2 dozen of them.
Oh wow.
Yep, and I cracked them all open and opened them up, and I didn't pull anything, and it was okay, but I got to open up Cosmic Eclipse for real cheap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Sharkfin Adventures. He's always in our lives and always in the comments. Appreciate you.
What's going on, Sharkfin? Yeah, we do not have a raffle going here. This is more of a laid back live. I do do giveaways. I said you do. Although real quick, to Cubber and Brent, who won giveaways last Friday, your stuff is going to go into the mail on Monday. I just had a couple things come up that made it a little difficult for me to get postage done. I apologize for that. Tyler, you're going out on Monday or Tuesday as well. But
yeah,
moving on. So you guys are now trying to grind your way, and I say grind, but you're not. Like you're like inching your way to 2,500. It's going to happen. Like I remember you were doing the 1,500 giveaway, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, by the way, hey, we're doing the 2,000 giveaway. So,
yeah, that one went fast between 15.
Yeah, and that was surprising too, because it took us. I think once we got to, I think Vault shot us from like 500 or 600.
No, I think we were less than that. I think we were in the 30s.
No, you were at about 300. Whenever y'all sent him, you guys sent, like I said, I don't know if I said it during the live, but or maybe when we were talking about it previously, you guys are at like 300 subs, because I do try to pay attention to when I join people's channels. You were at about 300 subs when I joined, and that was because of Vault. And so after that, it was like, again, it was like overnight.
Yeah, and like he slingshot us to about 11 or 1,200, I think is what I remember.
Yeah, because we did 3 milestone giveaways at once.
At once, yeah. We were just, because we'd had like some milestones lined up, and we had to just give them out all in one shot, which was great.
That was so awesome, yeah.
But then I think from there to 15 took a little bit of time. But then 15 to 2,000, it was quick. And that's just, again, like back to the community. Like the people in this community are awesome. And just the fact that it's so weird to me that just people get on YouTube and watch us. You know what I mean? And
I feel that, dude. I get that. Especially because like I do, like all of my stuff is in live streaming, and like it shouldn't surprise me because I spend so much. I spend so much time, but I spend a lot of time hanging out in live streams and whatnot. So it's like it shouldn't shock me. But the fact that I have 10, 15 people hanging out in my lives every Friday, I'm like, but why? Like I'm not that cool. Thanks. But
oh, you're pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm great. If you ask Sean, I'm Pokerev's younger, far better looking.
Oh brother. Yeah, I love all the things that he comes up with. So I don't know.
We had there was somebody in Discord. I can't remember who it was now, but I at the start of my career, and I'm hanging out in Vault's lives because I found Vault from Rev. Because of one of the mystery boxes he sent him, and I was talking to Sean about it during our podcast, but like he was kind of my inspiration to do this. I remember watching him and looking at my wife one day and just saying, "Hey, honey, I'm going to start opening up Pokemon cards on YouTube," and she was like, "Okay, like right on." She didn't know. She didn't know at the time. I think like maybe if she understood what it cost, she might have been like, "Okay, but I'm going to monitor this."
Yeah.
But no, my wife, I gotta tell you, my wife has been the most supportive person. She's, like I said, like we were talking about earlier, she's been on a couple of videos, she's been on a live. she's always in the chat, but she is truly the most supportive person for me in this hobby, aside from our 11-year-old. He is my biggest fan. But I remember sitting in Vault's lives early on and doing the whole like, hey everybody, I also have a Pokemon channel, come check me out. And it's like, looking back, it's so cringe.
I know.
And we had to, but I did it, man. I remember dropping like a super chat once, and then that's when Sean started doing like the, hey everybody, look at Poketrev. He is Pokerev's far better looking younger brother. And then that turned into a thing in Discord. We had somebody that got so annoyed by it. It's still like, we'll still make the joke sometimes. I think one of the other mods, Train Black, earlier, we were talking about Rev in the general chat, and he's like, hey man, tell your brother to send us some merch. I'm like, man, he still doesn't talk to me. He doesn't invite me to Thanksgiving. Like, Rev, Nick, if you're watching, your nephews miss you, dude. No, man, Sean is really like, he is probably one of the funniest guys in this community, because he just doesn't like, he just says whatever he's thinking, but makes it so funny.
I know.
Oh,
I
y'all
know.
are glitching again.
Glitching again. I know.
Oh, they're back. Are they back? Hey, they're back. All right, cool.
We live in the
Welcome
desert.
back.
I don't know if you know that. We live in the middle of nowhere, and I think that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
It definitely affects us, because Fallon, Nevada is the smallest town. So
wow. So y'all are in Nevada. So I thought y'all were in Cali.
No, we're really close.
No.
So
yeah, we go over there as much as we can for like events and stuff.
Yeah, and that's how, like, for us getting a card party
right,
was convenient. It was just a 8-hour drive or 7-hour drive,
something like that.
Right.
And then we got down there, and I know conversations always end up back at Vault. It's just such an outstanding citizen. But
all the free advertisement the man gets from me.
we got to card party, and we were waiting in line to see him.
Oh, you have to wait in line to see him? Jeez, yeah. I have to pay him not to hang out with me. So
must be nice. And we'd sent him that video previously. Like you said, we were sitting around 200, right. And we get to the front of the line, and he's like, "Hey, I know you guys."
Yeah.
I was like, "Weird." And sure enough,
we know you too.
Yeah, right off the bat, he was like, "You guys are awesome. You guys really got something, And I was like, "That's cool, man. I appreciate it." He's like, you should send me a box. Send me a box." And I was like, that was it. That was the moment.
That's awesome. That's it.
Misty's creativity went into overdrive, and we actually have another box.
Yep, battle box.
So.
Oh yeah.
We're sending him another one. Since him and the squad, they helped us get to our monetization. So we're sending a little more love back to the squad.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Members of the Vault Squad, beware. John and Mistie are sending another box your way. I have actually, so I got to tell you, I knew I made it when I had a viewer on the channel. Shout out to Captain Lily's Collectibles on Instagram. He reached out and sent a box to my channel, which was like, he messaged me on Instagram and was like, hey, so a big fan of your show, big fan of your channel, love what you're doing. Would it be cool if I sent you some product? And I'm like, oh, yes, sure. Okay.
Yes.
Didn't know how to take it. It was weird. It was very fascinating to me.
Yeah. We get people
I'm gonna beat
like autographed cards all the time.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, I actually went one step above that. Whenever I send out giveaways, I send out a thanks signed Poketrev card, because it's just like, even if they don't ask for it, I want to give it to them because maybe one day they'll want it.
We do the same thing. Yeah.
Or it's a coaster. Oh, I know. I have. Oh, dang it! I don't have my binders down here with me. I was gonna say I have y'all's. I have my cards from y'all's giveaways in my binder upstairs. I have a whole like 3 pages of other creators' signatures.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yep. So if I ever want to steal your identity, I have.
That's my legit signature. So.
Really? Oh, that's a terrible idea, dude. Don't do that. This is the first bit of advice. So we had on Instagram, we had a guy that was going around asking a bunch of literally just looking up creators, asking for their just asking them to send them a signature and asking them it was a weird scam, but I had gone into a group chat that I was in. By the way, I know everybody is in the chat. Love all you guys. I see Harry Snorlax. I see Mr. Zards Mix. I see Shetty. I see Diva. Shout out to my Aussie fam. Because this story is very relevant for that, because I was talking with them about it, and then I had a couple of them reach out to me. I was like, hey man, whatever you do, like if you send them anything, don't send them money, don't send them product, send them an autograph, but don't send your actual signature when you do that. I'm like, okay. Yeah, that's so yeah, don't do that. Don't send your signature, Johnny. It's too valuable.
Yeah. I'm sure it is.
Mr. Zards Mix is right. I am actually trapped in a shipping container right now.
I was wondering about that. I've always thought that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it because of the way my setup is? Because I don't have like shelves. I just have like a.
That makes it easy.
Oh man, it's funny. Our first. I don't know why it just flashed back to our first setup was actually these two little shelves there.
Oh yeah.
And it was up on like a table, and this creative one here, she's got just the creative mind, like morphed it into a studio in the dining room.
So yeah, you got to figure my first setup, my wife is the creative one. She actually took our 11-year-old's comforter and created hangers. So I'd have a backdrop. Because my first backdrop was our china cabinet. So behind me is like pictures of my wife and our kids, and then second shelf is like all of our old like Pinewood Derby stuff, because we keep all that stuff in there. And then the very bottom shelf, you can't even see it, so it's not even relevant, but that's where all my Pokemon tins and whatnot are. So it's like you can't even see the Pokemon related stuff there. And then she turned my whole area into a nice little setup.
Yeah, no, I like that. I really like it. Especially since that's a blanket there.
Is that really? Yeah. I've wondered that. So that was who made that?
So I had it made for our anniversary for him.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Y'all are adorable. Shed, don't you dare unsub to me, my friend. We have been doing this together for too long. By the way, shout out to Pokemon Shed, feature guest on the podcast. I am working on ironing out the perfect day or the proper day for that. Good old Sheddy. He did an amazing 24-hour live stream back in June. Yeah, dude. So that was fun. That was the first time I ever collaborated with another creator. And again, shout out to Pokemon Shed, because fun fact, the morning, because it was morning here that I was on his show, he had a ton of other creators across the globe. So I opened up a box of Lost Origin that I had bought and had opened up like a few packs during his stream. We were just chatting, kind of like this style. That night, whenever I went to do my live stream, at the end of that box is when I pulled my Giratina. So like I owe my Tina to Shetty. That was a ton of fun. Yep. Shed and I agreed. Once we both hit 60,000 subs, I'm going to take myself, my wife, our kids. We're going to fly to Australia and we're going to do a 72-hour stream nonstop.
Oh man,
that's awesome. I would love to go back to Australia.
I've never really been out of the country. I ended up in Mexico once on accident, but that doesn't count.
Wrong turn in San Diego, or
no, wrong turn in South Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, yeah. This, it is definitely kind of bringing it back. The community as a whole is what makes this so much fun.
It is. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like I hate bringing up Sean so much in anything that I do. I feel like it always comes back to him, but like he says, like otherwise he's just a 30-something-year-old dancing alone in his basement. But it's true. Like it is. I mean, he's actually I'm pretty sure he's like 40-something at this point, or maybe 50.
Yeah, we should have sent him a cane in that box, huh?
You should have. I'm a little offended that I haven't been picked for a mystery box opening or a mystery box battle. I'm just saying.
Well, we were
We're talking
you absolutely
people.
glitched out at the
Oh.
most unfortunate time because you're just completely silent.
No. Yeah, we were actually just talking about this today.
Yeah.
And we want to send our battle boxes out to
as many people as will take them. So,
dude, I'll take one. I'll take them. It'll just have to be done on live because, like I said, I don't do pre-recorded content because there's a better than good chance it never gets released.
Prepare to lose. You know what I mean? So,
dude, I don't lose, Johnny. I often fail miserably, but I never lose.
Well, so then this is what we'll do. We'll have the hottest hands in the West here. She'll have to open all your packs.
Sorry, I'll get my wife involved. I will get Mrs. PokePair involved in this and make her do it because she has won every pack battle we've ever done. Her very first opening, in fact, it was my channel's like featured short for the longest time. She casually opened up a Crown Zenith pack, and it was just a Mewtwo V-Star. Just back when Mewtwo V-Star was like a $90 card.
Yeah.
Like second card in the set. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely make a trend out of the mystery box battles.
And
that's what
they're fun, dude. No, like I gotta tell you, I thought that was such an endearing way to be introduced to a creator because it reminded me of how I found Sean from Rev because he sent him this, the locker or whatever. And it's a way to connect. Like it's a way to just have create content together apart. Yep. And a lot of these creators got started doing content during the COVID era, which is when we were all living apart. Looking at Sean in that, like Sean started 2 years ago or so, and that was like tail end of the height of COVID. Yeah. So you've got all of these creators that, Rev started his journey on Instagram. Same with Ryan, but I say whatnot a lot, which I really hate to do. It's a term that I used before this scummy app. But no, like Rev started out on Instagram. Then he just as like a Pokemon based page, and then started his YouTube channel, etc. Ryan started or met Rev through that, and that's how he got started on YouTube. You have people that were around like Leonhardt's been doing this for 10 or 11 years now, which is insanity to me. I can't believe like this niche has been around that long, but it was very niche back then. It was a hobby. It was on the outskirts. It wasn't a career. It wasn't, this massive thing. So you guys are going to be at 40,000 subscribers by Card Party, right?
I hope so.
I hope so. That would be insane.
Yeah, I don't. It seems.
It seems so far off.
Yeah, unreachable.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Card Party, it does seem so far off, but for the well, if you look at the rate of growth, like you again, and just it's so impressive, and I'm so every time I see that number go up and see you guys talk about it, I get so excited for you because again, you've been doing this as long as I have, and you're like above and beyond, and you're moving your way and marching down. Like you're at least gonna hit, I think, 5,000 before Card Party.
I think that's I think that's
about where our head's at too.
Yeah.
And I think that's the goal. So I don't know. I don't know where we're gonna go from here, but I just don't want to stop. You know what I mean?
No.
Dude, right?
Not stop.
Right?
And
that's why. Yeah, So I started this channel with the idea that I started it for the wrong reasons. In my head, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna get famous and I'm gonna get monetized. And then I started doing it. I'm like, yeah, that's never gonna happen. But I really love what I'm doing right now. And then I got to my 100 subscriber milestone and did the live stream. And I'm like, okay, I like this a lot more than what I was doing. Because I was doing the pre-recorded videos, but I wasn't editing at all. I was literally recording it and releasing it. No thumbnail, no nothing. Again, I will do like I don't know, when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I will do a special podcast where I interact with the chat and just go through my journey so far, and you're going to see some of the most cringe, uncomfortable moments that I wish I would just delete, because it's just like, it's really bad.
Oh, you can't delete
but I
it.
won't.
Yeah,
No,
no.
I'll never. No, because again, like you guys, getting to see where you started and seeing where you are now, it's all a part of the process. And getting to see where I started and see where I am now is all a part of the process. Like, I can't edit to save my life, but man, if I can't make an awesome thumbnail, dude, I am a thumbnail genius. I am better than Sticker Guy. You can take that to the bank. Cole Kelly, I'm calling you out. I love you, my guy. You can edit, but you cannot thumbnail better than me.
And it's funny because when we started this journey, this was going to be this was my thing that I was starting, right?
Yeah.
And we were going to do it together because I had to talk her into it, I think, maybe a little bit.
Just because the being on camera.
Just the being on camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is going to be my thing, and I was going to do all the stuff for it. And then she just her editing skills came out, her creativity came out.
Awesome.
I think from the start of this thing, if there's one thing we've had pretty decently nailed down, well, I say we loosely, one thing that she's had nailed down from the beginning is those thumbnails. And then with the editing, she jumped on the iMovie and just learned it.
Yeah.
And she's got it dialed down to a science.
So iMovie is amazing. It is. Yeah, it is perfect. So I will add the caveat. My thumbnails have literally nothing to do with Pokemon half the time, but they're just so good.
I love the little guys you put in the background.
Oh my gosh. Are you talking about the Avengers thumbnail?
Yeah, I saw some in
those CTR.
Yes.
The CTRs? Yeah, dude. So the Avengers thumbnail, shout out to Tyler Reagan if he's here, and if he's not, he'll watch it back. Shout out to Tyler Reagan for being the Thor to my Cap, and then to Sean for being the Iron Man to my Cap, and then to Rev for being the Lumberjack Rev Hulk, and then shout out to Cool Trey and Ryan for being the Ultrons. It took me probably 30 minutes to get all of the little Ryan heads just perfect on the Ultron bodies so that they fit on that thumbnail. It was the dumbest, most impressive thing I've ever done.
It's
so
awesome.
Pleased with it.
Yes, I am.
Big shout out also. I did one with the Thor Ragnarok poster. I did one that was just like a Pokemon poster, but I enjoy doing ridiculous thumbnails. I think a lot of that comes from the idea that, people are going to look at this and go, what the hell am I looking at? And then click it just cause all right, this is something, and then click it and maybe they'll stay.
That's half the battle, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, so we're gonna close to winding it down, but I do have a couple more questions. First, once again, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight. I've been PokeTrev. They are PokePair. Yes. They are just crushing it, killing the game. You are, man. 2.2 subs. It's incredible, and it's so inspiring. Like, at this point, you guys inspire me. Like, I am going to do all the things that I have to do to get there for sure.
And
my next question is,
I'm sub to you as well.
Yeah, you're right. So Pokemon Shed asked, and I'm actually curious, have you been invited as creators to Card Party?
So when we weren't invited as creators, when we got our tickets, it asked us if we were creators, and we clicked on that, and then we're supposed to get an email about it.
I too am waiting for my email. I think they're just like they actually shuffled through it, and they're like, nope.
Yeah, right. I know.
Yeah, they kind of vet they vet everybody, and they're like, yeah, no. Yeah. Y'all will be fine. They're like, oh, this loser's in his basement. He's got a comforter behind him. He'll be fine.
If anything, I think you interact with those guys a lot more than we do.
Yeah, you do.
And I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
You know what? I gotta say, so I have interacted with Ryan once. And that was in one of his in his Discord. I've interacted with Sean a few times. and he was very just an amazing, wonderful, regular guy. Like, I think that's the cool thing, is that the thing I love most about this is like getting rid of the mystique and tearing down the curtain on the idea that these that content creators are any different than just regular people. One of the things I love most about Ryan as a creator is that he just seems like he's just a dude. Like, he's a normal dude. Like, who he is on camera is who he is as a person. And he's just like, he is very unapologetically him. Sean is the same way. Sean is like, he is as excited to be on camera. Like, when you're just talking to him, whenever he and I were talking before the podcast, he's just excited to, be talking about Pokemon with somebody who's also just excited to talk about Pokemon. I think that's part of the problem with some of the creators like Leonhardt, because they seem just so otherworldly and unapproachable. Like, they don't behave necessarily like, or just don't seem to exist as regular people.
So, funny story. My CTR story, right?
So
we were at Card Party, obviously based off the shirt, but we were at Card Party, and we were standing at the desk. I think we were trying to the merch table, looking at merch, and Ryan like walks up next to me, and I go like full fanboy. I'm like, "What's up, man? Hey, how's it going? I'm John. Nice to meet you." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not taking up too much of your time." And he's like, "Relax, bro.
Stop being so nice.
Stop being so nice." Because I was like, "Oh, I don't want to take up too much of your time. You mind taking a picture?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, if you don't have time." Completely just like fanboy.
That's awesome.
And he's like, "Stop being so nice, bro. Just take the picture with me." I was like,
"Right,
all right."
That sounds about correct. Like, he just, that's just it. Like, I feel like as content creators, it's a weird notion to be like celebrity status, because that's not what we're doing it for. So when you hit that, it's just like, don't treat me like I'm, Tom Cruise. Treat me like I'm a person, because I just am a person who just sits in front of a camera and gets excited about shiny cardboard.
Yeah.
Like, that is what I'm doing.
Yeah, and also, but one of our favorite parts, and I don't want to speak for you, but I know it is, and to be true, is meeting everybody. So we went to Collecticon in LA.
Yeah.
And we drove down there. Like I said, it's like 6-7 hour drive. And my favorite part was like walking through the crowd, and then randomly somebody like grab you by the arm and be like, "Hey,
I know you."
That would make me so uncomfortable. I'd be like, "Uh-uh." You have me confused.
No, not at all. No.
I just get really shy, so I always feel bad because
which is
so ironic.
Yeah, in our videos.
It's ironic because you know what? Yeah, I know. You were right. We were talking about that prior to everything, and it's so funny because, like, Missy, you do come off as like the more extroverted one, and John, not that you're introverted, but you're just like, whatever. What's up? Hey, buddy, come on. See my wife? I'm gonna torture her real quick in this crap battle. Make her feel real bad.
Yeah.
Bad. And Missy's like, yeah. But no, it is interesting that dynamic doesn't actually translate to real life. But again, Sean and I talked about this a little bit, and I hate talking about him. Gosh, he comes up way too much. But no, like, it is all about the persona that we put on. Like this, there is not a character that we play, but there is something to being able to feel like the safety and comfort of your own home, so you can be this person that you want to be on camera.
Yeah.
And it's just like Moonbrion Dad says there.
We met him there too.
We met him.
We met him at Card Party.
We met him at Card Party and then at Collecticon.
Yeah.
I absolutely love him. He's one of the nicest people.
You don't talk in real life. Well, this is pretty real, Misty, and you've talked a decent amount. So
it's the in-person thing that gets
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a wild ride.
Yeah,
man.
Yes.
I can't imagine. Like, I know what it feels like for me. Like, went to bed with 500 subs and woke up with 620 subs, and it was just like, dude, that's nuts to me. I am my projections are going so much faster than I anticipated based on like my initial run. Like it took me 3 months to get to 100 subs, or 2 months to hit 100 subs, and then another month and a half to hit 200. And it was like, I celebrated by making the biggest mistake ever, which was opening a Hidden Fates box every time I hit 100 subs.
The hardest part is that those first couple hundred, and I remember looking at 500 like we're looking at 5,000 right now, and 500 being like, if we can get to 500, man, we're doing something good, you know? And it is 100% true, and I think that fact holds true. Like having 500 people that are willing to watch you on a regular basis, is insane. You know, it is, and it's crazy. It means you're doing something right. You know, if 500 people are saying that you got something, you probably do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You know, it's like it's the Elvis adage: 90% of the world couldn't be wrong. Elvis is the king. You know, you know, if you have such a high number of people that come back for your content, honestly, like I said, I have 15 people that sit in my lives regularly. Occasionally it jumps up to 20 or 30, and they're always here week in, week out. And I know that what I'm doing is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like I am sure there are things I could be doing better, and I will always grow and expand. However, I'm not doing poorly.
No, not at all.
As you know.
No.
Once again, shout out to the Rushmore show. Like they just cracked 500 subs. They have a nice. If you like top 4 lists, if you like shows about you know, lists and whatnot, check out the Rushmore show on YouTube.
We'll check it out when we're done here for sure.
They're awesome. I was on first week of October. We did top 4 TV moments of all time. That was a fun one to do. But seriously, once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here tonight. John, Misty, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. It's like, I'm so glad we finally got here and we got to finally do this. I was looking forward to this one big time because
I've been excited for weeks.
We've talked about it every day.
I know, every time. It's so funny. Like every time I watch an episode that you guys put out, and it's like, by the way, we're gonna be doing this. I'm like, oh, hey, they talked about me. Hi everybody. Because I get that little minimal celebrity status from you guys. Like it's like almost like backdoor celebrity. But seriously, we are going to be doing a lot more on this show. So stay tuned to the channel. I'm going to be announcing. I think that I'm going to start trying to iron out like the months at a time for the podcast. I'm really hoping to do this. I'm trying to do this every week and then make my openings a bi-weekly thing, but stay tuned to the channel because I'll be announcing how that's going probably in the next few days. I'll be announcing our next guest. I'm pretty sure I know who it is, but until I have it fully ironed out, I don't want to announce it in case things fall through. So John, Misty, thank you guys so much for being here.
Yes, thank you for having us,
man.
Of course, man. And to everybody out there, I have been PokeTrev.
And this has been,
that's right. And this has been the Fireside Chats. We will see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.